I'm Gab. He's Jules. Kind of stormy over West London, but nowhere near stormy this evening when Chelsea take on Spurs. But Jules, forget all that because we got to talk Champions League.
Oh, semifinal.
It's Bayern Munich. It's Real Madrid. We're going to focus on that. We'll get to Paris Saint-Germain later. We don't have to. We will. We have to. I gotta say, like in terms of excitement, in terms of twists and turns, this game I thought absolutely delivered. And I think for me, we're reminded of one thing. And you can have a really exciting game between teams near the bottom of the table, teams from the third division, teams from non-league, whatever. The difference is that when you've got teams at the highest level, you have individuals who can do outrageous stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I'll just pick up two moments out. I know there's more. Toni Kroos's pass, and also Leroy Sané cutting inside and just finishing the way he did. Yeah,
I mean, the quality of the game was incredible, really. I know Kim makes a mistake on the penalty and on the Vinicius goal. There's a foul on Musiala for the penalty for Bayern too. So there are mistakes being made, but also you make mistake when the opposition is that good. But overall, when you even look at Bayern made 522 passes, I think, with a ratio of 91% passes successful. And Real Madrid was 94% with 480 or something like that. So there was just not a bad pass, not a missed pass, not a bad touch. There was just everything tactically. Tuchel especially, I thought, had clearly a plan A and then a plan B at halftime when they went behind. Carlo was Carlo, and this Real Madrid side has this aura around there that even when they're 2-1 down, they're just always somehow in the game. And Vini was very special, the way he scored and the way he kind of baited Kim and for Kroos then to find that incredible pass, but also his ball for Rodrigo that got the penalty and then scoring the penalty. It was just amazing. The atmosphere was amazing. It felt really like this kind of European heritage, European classical, because they are obviously meeting a lot in the semi-finals of the Champions League.
One thing that struck me, and it's nothing new, but the decision to play Mazraoui again at left back.
Yeah.
Mazraoui, who when he's played fullback, has generally played on the right, in place of Alphonse Davies. Davies hasn't had the best of seasons. He hasn't had the best of performances when he has played. Was there an element about people like you linking him to Real Madrid?
I don't know. There's clearly something. Otherwise, he would play more. Did you see when he came on, Alphonse Davies, wearing the Pavlovic shirt?
No.
So he was on the bench. He's about to come on. So he must have taken maybe his warm-up top off and grabbed a shirt on the bench, thinking it's his, puts it on, runs towards the fourth referee. He's about to go on. And the kit man from Bayern runs towards him and says, it's the wrong shirt. And it was Pavlovic. I mean...
How cool would that have been? He could have tricked him into thinking he was Pavlovic, and therefore he's a lot less quick than...
Yeah, no. Maybe not. No.
Because of course there's...
But yeah, maybe there's clearly something. Otherwise he would play more.
On the Real Madrid end, we saw this again. You know, I always have to laugh when we overemphasize sort of tactical systems and so on. We talk about tactics a lot here, but I was struck by the way Rodrigo and Vinicius were used, where Rodrigo most of the time was wider left than Vinicius. And Rodrigo spoke after the game on Sky Italia, and he said, look, you know, sometimes we don't even know until a few minutes before the start of the game.
Yeah.
How he wants us to line up. But he's constantly, or the bench is constantly giving us information when we need to make adjustments. So you're there in person and you have essentially a really, really asymmetrical team, right? Because
it was a clear 4-4-2. It was an absolute 4-4-2. Very, very just normal. Bellingham very close and very high next to Vini. Rodrigo left, Valverde right. And clearly, I think...
But we're not talking, you just said 4-4-2, but we're not talking 4-4-2 in the sense that Rodrigo's playing in front of the fullback in a line of four, or Valverde the other side.
Well, we're talking... position they were.
It looked a lot more fluid than that.
When they had the ball, I think there was probably a lot more movement. And you see on the goal, on the penalty, for example, that Rodrigo finds himself as a 9 on Kim, and Vini had dropped deeper to play him that ball in the box. And at that time, there had been a few changes made. Brahim had come on, Bellingham had come off as well, which I was a bit surprised. Valverde had come off. So Carlo changed it, evolved it. I just like that Tuchel had clearly a plan A with Goretzka, a plan B with Guerrero, who obviously makes more run forwards. And that made a big difference in the second half. And then Carlo also had some tools with Brahim, with Modric, with moving Rodrigo, that fluidity that you mentioned, to counter what Tuchel did in that second half.
I think we both agree that this tie is still wide open, so we're not going to get into that now.